I sang until I sang, till I sang. You're going to have to pay for that. Till I sang, till I sang, until I sang. What do you do, Najma?
Is he like talking to me, or he's just talking to the world?
As you approach the village, this stilted village where these houses sort of congregate and sit over this muck, this bog, you can tell that there is a voice coming from somewhere in the thicket of the houses. You don't know exactly where. It is punctuated by speech of, you better pay for that, or I'm not made of money, etc., etc., coming from somewhere in the village as a whole. And as you arrive, you can actually get a pretty good look at the layout of this village. It's very geometrical, and there are these huts that dot and pepper the central areas.
I think I'm gonna just like sneak around and try to find the loudest voice.
So give me a stealth roll, and let's see where you go. Go ahead and place yourself.
27.
27. You can go anywhere within your 30-foot... You have a 30-foot range, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Anywhere,
No, 45.
45. Anywhere you like within 45 feet, maintaining this sort of stealth as you almost blend into the shadows. Did you say that you like stripped? Are you like covered in mud? How are you?
I think she's
camouflaged?
caked out in mud.
Yeah.
But it's like that dried, crispy kind. But I think she's just in like straight up panties and underwear.
I can
with
read
the thingy.
I can read Andrew's mind. Arnie and Predator.
Oh no, that's not where I was.
Oh, okay.
Where were
I'd
you?
already thought that, and then
Yeah.
I left. I was like, excellent poor treatment.
So yeah, go ahead and move 45 feet somewhere into the village. Now, I want to say that this walkway is raised. Everything around it that is not these huts or these floating docks is water.
Okay. And the water's like brown.
It
I
is
assume.
putrid bog water.
Cool. Before I take my 45, can I try to do perception to see the loudest claim?
Absolutely.
Okay.
With the description, I'm imagining that one village from Avatar where they had the brown water and everything. They had to like break down the dam or whatever it was.
Oh, yeah.
The Lady of the Mist.
Yeah.
16.
Yeah, I think that you are pretty sure that the voice is coming from this
Middle one?
central house.
Okay,
Exactly.
I'm going to go there.
And you are right up against the sort of thatched, woven vines of this house. And as you can see, there are wide, short windows looking in. It looks to be some sort of store or market. There are tables full of goods, and with your perception, you can see staggering around inside, his back to you, there is a man dressed in some sort of brown, mossy cloak. And he just kind of is staring at the wall and saying again, I sang until I sang until I sang. On sale.
Can
It's some Dark Souls shit.
Can I cast Minor Illusion to create like a beat inside the store?
A beat? Mm-hmm. What is a beat?
Like a drum beat?
Oh,
Just a vegetable.
yeah, absolutely. It's a save versus your DC.
15.
I sang.
I think I take the scarf and I just like whip it and it creates like the vibration of drums. And it's not like one drum, it's like a beat, like a drum line. Like, yeah. Something he could sing to is what I'm going for.
I sang until I sang until I sang until I sang. So this man doesn't straighten up as you create this subtle beat. This man just begins to like sway with it, almost not noticing, but now incorporating the beat itself into his chant. I sang until I sang until I sang until I was plucked. You're gonna have to pay for that. His hands rest on the counter. His back is still to you.
Okay. I think I want to tie my scarf around my waist and then sneak inside. 18.
As soon as you cross the threshold, you do so incredibly silently, stepping, just without even the sound of the wind that your clothes would make as you pass in. You step on the boards, and there is no creak, but the figure jerks upright.
Oh, God.
You're gonna have to pay for that. Still facing the wall away from you, something snakes up above the hood of his robe and whips at the air. And you stop where you are. He begins to turning to the left.
Oh, God.
Eyes, sightless, pass over you. He's an older man, chestnut beard and completely bald pate. He has the sort of ink-stained hands of a store owner who's used to tying up bundles of wheat or grain. He looks very, very ill. And there is just the slenderest vine, a tendril of green with a thorny top that sprouts somewhere from his neck in his hood and is peeking out over the crown of his head. He appears to have some sort of blisters or pustules on his skin that pulse in time with the beat that you have created. You're gonna have to pay for that. I don't live on charity.
Guys, it's not Dark Souls, it's Bloodborne.
Hey!
Huge difference. One's inspired by Lovecraft.
The sun is setting. Have you guys had a chance to talk at all? Have you discussed Ma'at not being there? I know Jøra was the one that noticed Ma'at's disappearance, but I don't know if MacGowan has been able to have a conversation with her. Maybe on one of the rotations of the cruise and the breaks with this undermanned ship, with the cries of the feverish crewmen in the hold now beginning to break out on deck as RN and co. continue to wash their heads and try to give them water. What do you do?
Are their cries getting worse? Like progressively?
Just yells, like every once in a while, like a feverish man would.
Okay.
Well, I think that on one of the breaks or whatever, I don't know, maybe we had a moment to chat, like checking on the body of the king just to see if it's weirdly decomposing like everything else.
No.
It is not.
You slip into the hold on one of these breaks. Tu, now sensing something in his captain's mind, gives you a nod and just sort of stands inside as you go and check on the king. He looks bad, but no worse.
Right.
He is essentially slop bones. It's been a couple, it's been about a week.
Yeah. Well, so then...
really wish I knew about cremation.
But it's an oil slop. Sorry, it's like an oil sack, like it's meant to carry things without like water seeping in or out.
Yeah.
Whatever Rose gave you.
Well, I think that with that, like, if he's not strangely decomposing like everything else, just taking a moment to speak with Jøra. Also, what was it that I pinged on right before the fight started with the spiders and the bad bugs?
Unfortunately, unless you cast the spell Detect Magic, I can't tell you anything about the nature of a spell or a school of magic or anything quite like that.
Yeah.
How did you describe it? Because in my mind, it was like prickles on the back of the neck, that sort of sixth sense of something arcane or something magical going on.
Yeah.
Ma'at gives you that sort of background tingle, especially when they change your appearance or change their appearance. But this was not in the presence of Ma'at.
Gotcha. That was what I was trying to remember, if it was anything specific or not. Jøra, there's something strange about this swamp. I'm not sure what it is. I don't know if it's got to do with Ma'at or not, but they still haven't returned. King seems the same, though.
He seems the same. Just was Scottish there for a second. Let me not mirror what you're doing there, and I'll drop in and find my own thing here in a second.
I think you're rowing now.
Yeah.
RN has had to drop out.
For
His
sure.
arm is giving him too much trouble, and he's instead going and working in the hold with the sick men.
It does seem like a strange swamp.
Hey, and whatever this sickness is affecting the crewmen, it seems like it's moving rather fast for something natural. I fear it might be something else, but I don't have the skill to really identify what it is. To be honest, in the span of my life, all this is a bit new to me. For more than 200 years, I lived as you. By the axe, by the blade. The things that I can do now are still very strange to me. I know they're strange to everyone else.
I don't think your response. Yeah, I think somewhere in the middle of that, she visibly shifts and is not listening to you anymore.
And you travel, except for Atu's commands, row, 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 in silence, until the captain raps and holds up a fist. The signal for quiet. This is the of ships in the sea move stealth.
Ooh. Boat stuff.
Yeah.
You love it when the
Sneaky
DM
boat.
says that.
That seems about right. There is a grumble from the front. The crewmen at the front, who are now trying to row silently in this encroaching darkness underneath the canopy. The swamp has only gotten thicker, and now instead of wild marshlands and swamps, it is more akin to a jungle, or to the Everglades, as Brooke said. There is a grumble from Sotero's group at the front, which is silenced by a look from A2, and you slide close into the port of Pissmire. What do you do, Najma? This tendril from behind this man's head is again tasting the air. You can tell this alert came from the moment you stepped inside the room. And now looking down, you can see vines, plants, choking this inner floor.
Let's be real. I have 2 hit points. So,
Whoops.
oh my god.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm like so scared for myself. Can I? Oh, I don't feel like it will work. Are they on the ground near my feet?
The vines?
Yeah. Am I standing on one?
The very edge of your toe
Fuck, I
touched
that's what
one,
it was. Okay.
and it curled up under,
Okay.
as you look. You are no longer standing on one.
Is there an unoccupied space by him where there are like no vines, or is it just like a vine nest under his feet?
Completely out of place in this store, whatever it is, there is a beautiful ornate oak wardrobe, like a wardrobe.
Okay.
That has maybe 3 or 4 space of ceiling clearance.
Okay.
That, as far as you can tell, is completely untouched by leaves, plants, or any kind of plant matter.
And it's like by where he was looking at, sort of?
It would now be behind him because he's facing you.
Okay, is it dark inside or dim lit?
Yes.
Can I shadow step to the wardrobe?
Absolutely. And with your very high stealth, you're in this sort of crouched position, and you're just dipping into the shadow and out of the shadow on top of the wardrobe in that crouched position. It's a little tight, but you didn't make any noise, and you are now, I would say, functionally prone on top of this wardrobe, looking down on this strange.
I wanted to look at the spot he was looking at on the wall.
You look down, and I think that is specifically like his cashier's stand.
Okay. I kind of want to try to toss a coin on the ground and like try to hit one of the vines.
Give me just a basic dexterity check.
Okay, natural 20.
Where do you want to throw it?
Okay, I think the vine's at his feet.
Right at his feet?
Uh-huh.
Shoot him square in the dome piece.
Behind him, left, right, or...
I think in front, like as far away from me as I can, if you know what I'm saying.
So you toss it literally, it's a beautiful shot. It just goes right underneath the crook of his arm, barely missing the fabric of his robe as it hangs down, and lands directly between his feet in front of him. And you don't see exactly what happens, because you see it from behind. But all of a sudden, 3 more tendrils burst out of the back of his neck. All you can see is the back of the hood as this happens, and an awful... In this dim light, an explosion of dust or pollen or some sort of thing being expelled from the front of this figure, blasting out onto the place where you were, where you were originally sneaking in the front of this shop. And everybody here on the ship hears that.
Oh, God.
Let's roll for initiative.
I'm going to die.
It's not Bloodborne. It's Last of Us.
I'm going to die.
It's all the things.
I would like to change my class to a cleric really quick.
Heal
myself and then I'll switch back.
As the boat is silently gliding into dock, someone near the front slips with their oar, and the result is that the Helheim's bow slams and reverberates into the floating dock of this small town, this stilt town that you have floated up to. And at the same time, the reverberating bellow, I'm not going to do it again, somewhere inside of the village roars out. And instantly, Arn, axes in hand, 2 axes.
Axes? Oh!
And is pushing his way
Arnie
to the edge of the railing. Atu simply behind him with the sling. And there is a moment where nobody does anything. What do you do?
Oh, God.
Najma, as this powder fills that space just outside the shop. You hear a clank from out on the docks, and Arn, axes in hands, holds up that fist one more time.
I hear it.
You hear the clank.
The clank.
But everybody is remaining silent.
I think I want to cast Pass Without a Trace.
Great.
Can I do that?
It would end your minor illusion, but yes.
Oh, that's okay, because that's just the drums.
So these sort of shadows weave around you even more. Enfold yourself in the dark.
And I just want to, like, sit, crouch, and stay there.
Jøra, what do you do?
I think she's going to have the two-handed axe, but I think she's going to hoist out a spear and attack if something presents itself in a negative light, holding a ranged attack.
MacGowan.
Yeah, if we've got the hold sign, MacGowan is just going to have one of his hand axes ready to throw. He's already made himself not a nuisance, but is not on the crew's best side right now, so he's not going to bust out against orders.
Absolutely.
Not his ship.
And everybody makes the exact same decision. They follow Arn's cue.
So terrible.
Until, on his action, the universal silent sign for fan out.
Little two flick forward.
This thing, this man that is not a man, you're gonna pay for that. I don't run on charity here. And stumbles out the way that you came, just one square.
Okay, he's out, though?
Yeah, he's sort of roving. You can see now not the one, but 4 tendrils roving and tasting the air around his head.
Motherfucker be walking around like...
I think I'm going to try to sneak out.
Great, go ahead and give me that stealth check.
Oh my god. Natural 1.
Oh, no.
But then it was 18. But, you know.
You got plus 10.
Plus 18.
I'm afraid a critical failure is always going to be a critical failure.
It's so bad. Like, I think I try to, like, run on the wall, and my fucking legs are, like, broken, sort of, and so I just, like...
From falling into the...
falling.
Yeah.
Like, I think they're really fractured or sprained or whatever.
In this moment of adrenaline, you forget how injured you are. And as soon as you put your foot down and try to put weight on it, it crumples underneath you, and you fall. Do you shout or yelp or anything?
I think
Thumping?
she shouts, but because I have Pass Without a Trace, you can't hear it.
Oh, speech is muffled. Nevertheless, the thumping and the clattering of knocking things over, and now everybody here hears that as this thing again lets out a mournful "Ah!" and turns around and is going to thunder in towards you. Now you can see that these pustules under this face, these 4 tendrils coming up from behind this man's neck through his hood, these pustules are now glowing with some sort of photosynthetic light. 15 to hit.
No.
I think this man's hands are now like flying free of their robes, and they actually grow and move outward with a sickening of a stretched rope stretching taut, and the fingers themselves are now formed into some sort of claw, which slams down directly at your feet, and the other one slams directly into the wall above your head as you evade both. And Arn gives the go. Next in the order is Jøra.
Arn's giving the go.
Go!
Cool beans. She's going to go off the boat, spear out 40.
First one off this boat, leaping off the Helheim towards whatever this sound is. You begin to see farther down on this upraised walkway, there are spiraling vines connecting certain houses that sort of creep along the wooden path.
Can I hold my action in case something presents itself? That's why she's just carrying that spear ready.
Najma again. You are prone.
Oh, shoot. Okay, can I get up?
It takes half of your movement.
Okay, I think I'm going to do 3 attacks and use my key point.
Yeah. How do you get to your feet? Like in the cool, like martial arts kind of way?
No, I think it's not pretty.
Just survival. And lash out against this awful thing.
26.
That hits.
Okay. Natural 20 on the second one.
That's a crit. Let's keep that one separate.
21 for the third.
Also hits.
26 for the fourth.
Every single one of them hits. Roll that damage. Crit last.
Filthy.
Is a 7, and then a 7, and then another 7. Woo! 13.
Nice.
34 damage.
Great.
Whale. What is it? Is it elbow, hand, foot? What does it look like? This monk flurry of blows.
An elbow, and then a hook, and then an undercut, and then a headbutt.
And the sort of stunned face of this bald man with his big chestnut beard, it almost looks confused and sort of frightened. I'm not paying for this! And you push and push and crunch. And as your foot comes down to give the leverage for the next hit, that crushing final critical attack, you can see that the tendrils are moving every time you place your feet on vines, recalibrating as to where you are. But this man's face is just kind of filled with sadness or even fear at being struck in this way. Pummel and pummel and pummel like Ip Man. Everybody hears that I'm not paying for that. Next in the order is MacGowan.
MacGowan is going to come off the boat. 10, 25. Hold his action. He's got a hand axe, and it's beginning to glow red just a little bit with the heat as he's holding that in case anything pops out.
And next in the order, the crewmen who are going to bustle behind Arn and take up defensive positions on the boat itself. There is an answering scream not from where this thing is as it is being pummeled. There is an answering scream from the inside of the boat. 2 young boys now calling out in fear. One man's voice sort of yelling out in alarm. Arn and Atu transfixed looking towards the inside of this boat as the hold breaks open. And you can see in your periphery, one of the sailors, bandaged and feverish, is holding off one of his crew members who looks gray, and there's a tendril of vine coming out of his nose. Inside, the boys continue to scream as this sailor wrestles with his vine-covered compatriot. And as this lumbering, vine-covered crewman is prone down on the ground holding down his friend, Arn has advantage to attack and misses. It's too many limbs flying through the space, too many crewmen trying to get out of the way, animalistic, grunting, babbling fight happening on the ground. And next is this thing, with those long, long arms that continue to stretch outward, stretch up to the ceiling, coiling like vines, and bring them both down on top of you, Najma. That's a 1.
No.
How do you dodge as this thing manages to stick one of its pincer-like thorns into the ground, stuck there at the ground right in front of you as you twist and wiggle out of the way?
I think I step on the vine because I know it will follow me, and I just try to confuse it. Back bends and trying to...
I love that. With your back bends and your twistings around, leaves you directly face-to-face with this man, who again tries to open his mouth, but nothing comes out this time. No pollen, no spores, although there is still that cloud hanging the entrance you came in.
Since we're face-to-face, I just want to look him in the eye and just say, "You are not okay, my friend," and see if he answers me in normal talk.
Through tears that leak down like amber, brown in this dim light, say, "I'm not paying for that. I'm not paying for that. I sang until I sang until I sang until I was plucked."
I'm sorry, I have to hit you now, and then I'm gonna hit. 21 for the first one, 26 for the second one, 27 for the third one.
Whoas.
All 3 of those hit.
Okay, great.
Roll that damage.
Okay, 7, 11,
Nice.
and then 10.
Wow. Again, with this mixture of elbows and pushes and redirects and another elbow across, I think you end with a kick across the face, and the neck snaps like a dry twig and hangs down low. Those eyes still looking at you, that mouth still mouthing things, and the tendrils themselves snake up and out. I'm going to need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Ooh.
This head hanging by just fibers of some sort of green stringy material is now sort of spilling from the neck hole some sort of powder or dust.
Okay, that's a 9.
Oh no.
You cough.
Oh, damn it.
Next in the order.
Oh.
I skipped Jøra.
This is okay.
I'm sorry about that. It's yours turn. What do you do?
The only thing I would know to do. I heard the boys screaming.
Yes.
From inside the ship.
Yes.
Yeah, I love you, sweetie.
It's okay.
That's 5, 10.
Leaping over the railing of the
back
Helheim.
onto the boat.
Next to Arn.
And she's going to pull out her battle axe and use an action dash to get into the hold with whatever's in there with the boys.
You see the boys pushing behind crates, trying to hide in this rotting, now listing hold as nobody has secured the boat and it is still moving with the tide. A glimmer of an eye as Arn and Zakar are pushed up against the wall behind a crate of ammunition. And they're lurching from side to side. Some sort of vine sticking from his nose is one of the other infected crewmen.
All good. I'm going to bonus action rage and yell my head off.
Bursting into the hold. Aye, Captain!
I love
Four
that shit.
lurches towards the front, towards you. The boys continue to scream. MacGowan.
So we've got stuff happening down in the hold.
Yes.
Which Jøra just ran down into.
Vaulted back over the rail of the Helheim and pushing past the crowds of crewmen still on oars.
And then Arn is like on top of the other one who's on the deck.
Yeah, like a scramble of legs and limbs.
I think that seeing that and knowing what happened last time, MacGowan did his thing over, near the boat or toward the boat or anything, especially with, a lot of bodies on top of bodies. He's going to keep on going ahead. I heard the noise, but just like as I'm going, do I see anything?
The only movement other than the vines on the ground, which now that you look at them in this dim light, you have dark vision, correct?
Yeah.
Maybe the vines move a little bit underfoot, although you are not yet standing on them. And then at the far end of this gangway of these planks, you see just a puff of air, dust, some sort of cloud.
I think that if he sees the vines and everything kind of wiggling and that there's commotion coming from this way, I think he is going to use his action then to dash and go toward the commotion over here and try to avoid the vines on the ground if possible.
Give me a dexterity check.
Okay. I am thick. I am 300 years old.
What was the roll?
3 minus 1, a 2.
It is a 2. It counts as difficult terrain, as these vines also appear to be actively moving and slipping and impeding your approach.
Great. And for the sake of bookkeeping stuff, we have not rested at all, no short or anything since the last thing.
It's just been go. Next in the order, the crew, who I think are going to collectively muscle this seemingly infected crewmate off of his still cognizant compatriot. A tendril now even farther going out of his nose, now hanging down somewhere around his chest. He says, "All right, on starboard," through the mouthful of leaves. The starboard crewman with this tendril hanging down is going to, not even looking around, try to scrabble and claw at the crewman behind him, and is actually held back as it is trying to scratch at Sotero's face. And this big bad guy is unable to speak as you have separated head from vocal cords, and it is just the tendrils and the eyes blinking and the mouth working. Is going to take an action to try to rip his left claw out of the ground, and succeeds.
Oh, shit.
That is his action.
Okay.
Held and flanked by multiple crewmen and a big berserker, this infected, whipping around tendril crewman is held steady for Arn to take a swipe. That is going to hit.
Yeah.
Wait, is Arn dual-wielding great axes?
I was like, if he's dual wielding great axes.
I was like, oh, that's awesome.
That was better.
I was like, I want to learn how to do that.
Yeah, and he directly in, and this one wheels around and says, "Right away, Captain," is going to lurch towards you,
Please and thank
Jøra. That is not gonna hit. That is a
Cool, I maintain my rage because you attacked me.
15 to hit.
It does not hit now.
Back up to Jøra.
Battle axe. This is the only dude in the room, right? It was these two?
Yeah.
So there's only one that's in the room and the other one's out on the deck, or there are two in the room.
There's one on the deck, and there's one in the room with you.
Cool. I couldn't remember if it was 3 or 2.
Yeah, there were 3 infected, but one of them was not this.
Awesome. I'm gonna swing a battle axe. I'm gonna swing a big old great axe at it. I'm gonna reckless attack too.
Hit it.
That is a 26 to hit on
That
the
is
first
gonna
one.
hit.
Is it tasty?
It's a 12 on a D12.
Ooh. Feels good.
That is a 19 points of damage on the first hit.
Damn. You tear his arm off. I think you chop
Just bring it
directly,
straight through?
just directly through, and the blood is spurting as one would expect. There is also a black or green ichor that is drooling slowly down from the wound.
Hells yeah. These kids are traumatized, A.
Now they are silent.
B, it's still up?
It is up.
Okay, cool beans. Second attack. 22 to hit?
That is going to hit.
12 points of damage.
Kill it in the most spectacular fashion. Bring him up in the way that he should go.
I will. I've bisected one arm completely off.
Yes.
Cool. We come in wide on that first one and just and it completely rips the right arm off. She's gonna swing the axe around and get it right in the clavicle and in the neck, right? And it's just gonna sink it in pretty deep. And she's just gonna reach a hand into the collarbone, rip it out, and stab it in the head with its bone.
A little bit of combat anatomy.
My man.
Hey, if you fracture the collarbone with an axe, then you have two really sharp pieces of bone.
I mean,
So,
frankly, it'd be a waste not to use it.
Thank you.
I think Aren
We use all the parts.
watches silently, and then Zakar bursts out in a battle roar as well. Ah! Which Aren joins in with.
Hell yeah.
Hello, friends. Jonah here to say thank you for listening to this episode of Bound. I'd like to take a moment to tell you about our amazing partner, Dice Envy. They're still rolling out more of their new Draconian dice sets. They've added green and blue, and today they actually just added purple. Got a real Najma vibe there, and I dig it. If you're looking to add to your dice hoard, you can get 10% off of your purchase at Dice Envy by going to diceenvy.com/questco or by using promo code QuestCo at checkout. That's QUESTCO for 10% off of your entire order. If you're a fan of the Quest Company and you want to give us a boost, please do us a favor and go to our page on the Apple Podcasts app or wherever you listen to your podcast and leave us a rating and review. It's a huge help to us and we read every review that comes in, and getting more of those really does help us boost our visibility. And if you really love what we do here at the Quest Company and you would like to take the next step in supporting us, please consider becoming a Patreon subscriber. For as little as $2 a month, you can help us with necessary expenses, help us continue to improve the quality of the show, and get access to exclusive content and patron rewards. If you'd like to give us that support, you could do so at patreon.com/questcompanypodcast. You can find a link to the Patreon on our website, questcompanypodcast.com. If you'd like to contact us, you could do so directly through our website or by finding us on Instagram and Twitter at The Quest Company. You can also come hang out with us in our Discord. If you need links to any of those things, go check out our website. It's all there. We know that word of mouth is the best way to get people listening to a new podcast, and that's even more true for shows like ours. We don't do paid ads anywhere, and us posting on our own social media can really only get us so far. But if you tell your friends about us, they are way more likely to listen. They already know that they like you. They're taking a chance on us. Once we got them, we got them. But, if you could help us on the front end, that's really fantastic. So please, if you're enjoying the show, let other people know. We love seeing you posting about the podcast using hashtag The Quest Company. And if you have fan art of the podcast that you want to share, just make sure when you post it to tag us so that we can see it. Tagging us really is the best way to make sure that we see what you're posting and to guide folks directly to us. Speaking of fan art, we've gotten some more awesome art since our last episode. Thank you to Brad at BradOxnam_sketchart on Instagram for rounding out the crew and sending us some great art of Najma. If you haven't seen that, go check it out on our Instagram and Twitter or in the fan art gallery on the website. I'd like to thank Joe Leitess for running the game and editing this episode, along with the artist whose music is featured in it. Thank you to Aakash Gandhi for the song Eyes of Glory, Antonio Bizzaro for the song Venus Flytrap, David Hilowitz for the song The Bridge Horror, Rozkol for Closing In and Where Have You Gone, and Visceria for the song Seething, Ambient sound by tabletopaudio.com and SolarFlaire, additional sound design by Resaural. That's all for me, so let's get back to the action. Thank you for joining us here at the Quest Company.
Next in the order is MacGowan.
Murdered a crewman.
Heyo, MacGowan is going to continue heading this way toward the commotion over yonder.
This is difficult terrain, yes?
Yes.
Okay, so...
Unless he makes... You can make another dex to try to move normally.
10 minus 1, 9.
It is still difficult terrain.
Oh,
no, dwarfs.
Yeah.
let's see here.
Dwarf life.
Oh! All right, I'll use my action dash to go through the vines and get over there.
And now you see a young woman, but blurred somehow, difficult to focus on, as though the shadows themselves are shielding her from view, fighting against something. You're not on the ground, but you are right up next to it, sort of flowing in between martial arts poses and then stopping to pummel. You see this beast, this creature, this man, who, though the head is off and hanging down and only the tendrils seem to be holding this creature up, its eyes lock eyes with you. And it mouths something.
Can
I make it out at all? What it mouths at me?
Lip reading should be wisdom, I think.
Okay. 7.
You can do it as well as you can read my lips.
Yeah. Got it.
And it is back to... No. I skipped Najma.
I know you did. It's okay.
It's so hard.
I know, it's okay.
I run in as she's mid-punch.
Well, this is what you see.
Yeah.
And you see this.
Did I cough? I just coughed. Nothing happened. That was it.
Yes.
That I know of.
Yes. Which you hear now, and it sounds muffled somehow, as though there's, in another room, this cough.
Foley work, bitches.
I love some Foley.
I'm going to tilt my head to look at him, and I'm just going to say, you seem like a nice guy. I'm so sorry. And then I'm going to 3 attack.
3 attacks.
Yeah.
On the awful plant monster.
Okay, well, that's a natural.
I'm afraid that is disastrous as the
God.
first one. Lurching now, it sends both of you to the ground as it blocks the first one with a flailing arm.
Okay.
And both of you are now on the ground, on the vines, and the vines themselves are now trying to slurp around your arms and hands.
Okay.
I would allow a bonus action, but
'cause I
not.
didn't get to
I think
use
it
it.
stopped the attack action.
Okay. I have 2 hit points. I have no key points. We're just going to lay there
You also can teleport in darkness.
with key points.
No, it's free.
It's free. You can do it as much as you want.
What?
Infinite.
Yes.
Didn't know that.
You hear your mother say, "Remember, you can teleport infinitely."
Thank you, Mama.
Use the force.
But I can't go
bonus
like
action.
outside, right?
Anywhere in dim light.
And it's dark out.
Mhm.
Yep. When you're in dim light or darkness, as a bonus action, you can teleport up to 60 feet. And then I have advantage on the first melee attack you make before the end of the turn. Okay. I'm getting out.
Where are you going?
Out. Could I see
Yeah.
MacGowan then?
Yes.
Okay.
You see, so MacGowan, what does Najma see as you come tromping up, like smashing over these vines that continue to sort of grip at your feet?
You see a very tan, grizzled old dwarf with gray-white hair and a large axe and shield in hand, and he is, armored. He has these like pauldrons on his shoulders, and he's coming, clomping through. He's currently trying to fight his way, to get through these vines, running in your direction. As he's like, "Hey!"
And
Okay.
Najma,
I
where?
think I'm going to go, because I can only go this way, right? Or this way.
Anywhere you can see.
I don't know you, so I'm going to just go this way. Ugh.
And as you lock eyes with her and say, "Hey," she flits out of the grasp of this thing on the ground, out, and is prone outside.
There I am. Yeah, I'm just going to catch my breath for a minute.
You are in this awful, almost embrace as you are on the ground. This thing is at least partially draped over top of you, and the vines beneath creeping up, and you are outside.
Whew.
And next in the order are the crew members who are going to weakly attack, bludgeon, and beat down the violent crew member. They miss. That thing reaching back around. Oh no, it's dead.
Rip.
I have its skull in my hand.
Yeah, you have the crewman's skull. This infected crewman turns around and bites, leaning back, and tries to bite next to it. That's a 2, and it bounces off of what could probably stand to be washed leather armor. Arn,
Gross.
ship a bow. He sinks his axes into the side of this thing, and more black ichor begins to spit out. And Arn is sort of almost sprayed down his left side with this sort of ichor. That's Joe, not anything in there.
It's one of the boys. No!
This thing, who now unaware of where Najma is. Those tendrils seeking out feels and zings towards MacGowan, whose foot has just stepped on a vine. Slither forward.
Ooh.
And then, ignoring the difficult terrain, 1, 2, 3, up to MacGowan. And it is going to breathe in and try to expel these awful spores at you. I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, Dex 1. Beans. That's 11 minus 1, 10. Crud. I was expecting con.
Beans.
Damn it.
Can you keep track for me?
1,
1, 6,
7,
3,
10,
2,
12,
4,
16,
6,
24,
My God.
22,
5, 27,
27,
2,
28.
29.
Shut up. I hate math.
29 acid damage
That was too many D8s.
There's only a few.
as just pumping.
What level are you?
Pouring out of this thing's torso. And MacGowan is just sort of coated in this awful Agent Orange powder.
Ugh.
And you cough.
Fuck.
Back up to Jøra.
Cool beans. There's no more threats in here with the little boys, right?
None.
Cool beans.
And they are power yelling with you.
Love it. I'm going to turn and throw the crewman that I just murdered onto the deck because I assume I'm still probably near the door. I assume I came right in and had that confrontation and step out. Do I see this dude still being a problem?
He's still... And even more down, this vine is creeping out of his nostrils.
Cool beans. 20 to get in range, right?
Yeah. I think you're pushing past crewmen and over benches.
Cool beans. I'm going to reckless attack this. Wait, no. Do I need to reckless attack? Is
You
it
have
being held?
advantage because it's everybody is flanking it. It could not be more flanked.
Good night, son. 20 something.
Hit.
Cool. 18 points of damage.
Kill it.
Excellent. Easy peasy at this point. I think she's just going to jam the axe in the head and just keep going until it stops somewhere probably in the sternum.
Flowers come out of his mouth.
I don't understand any of this. Can I use the rest of my movement
Absolutely.
action? Okay.
As the crew react in horror, dropping this thing that as it stands now bisected down and crumbles to its knees, flowers are pouring out of this poor man's throat.
2 attacks left.
And that's the end of your turn.
I can't do anything with him. Makes me sad.
Najma, you are on the ground outside.
I sure
of him.
am.
You don't have to do anything if you don't want. It's been pretty awful.
I really think she's just gonna take a breath. MacGowan can't see me anymore, correct? And I can't see him.
Correct.
Yeah, I think she's just gonna lay for a minute
Yeah, absolutely.
and just look up and take a breath.
MacGowan.
Well, that hurt. It was not great. So MacGowan is going to hoist up his battle axe, and he wants to do a twinned green flame blade. So just take 2 swinging strikes with his axe at this creature. 19 for the first one.
Hit.
12 for the second one.
Miss.
Okay. That is 17 points of damage from the axe.
You deal this thing a mighty blow, and I think you lop off an arm or at least chunk of this thing off, and just more and more plant matter begins to pour up through where you begin to hack through this robe, this poor shopkeeper's garb. There is no word, there is no speech, there is nothing. It can only look at you with those still human eyes as those tendrils are completely controlling its movement, and it keeps coming. Atu sprinted in and grabbed the 2 children out of the hold, bringing them out onto the main deck. Arn throws the corpse of the split-through creature into the hold and slams the door and looks down at the crewman on the ground. His hands are shaking. The crew circle this man. Next in the order, this thing. It is going to rear back up as it did with Najma. Awful, long, Mr. Fantastic, super stretch Armstrong arms to bring in from around the side, both aiming directly at you, MacGowan. How do you block it?
I think he just holds up the shield. I think that when he was going for the green flame blade, the first one hit, and so he brings it back around and just like really selling out, trying to channel more of this sorceress energy. He oversold it, and that's why he missed. And so I think that he's almost down below it. So the tendrils come down, and he just holds up the shield to block it.
One thump, the other thump. As a drum, I sang and I sang and I sang. There is no voice, but the mouth is mouthing it.
And a question.
Yes.
Do the vines around this thing, like, does it all count as it's one big thing just because Green Flame Blade deals damage to a, quote, second creature if there's a second creature?
Oh, interesting. I love that. Your flame, as it is bringing these hooks, these claws down, I think it is still burning with some of this green flame. Some of it, I think, slags off and falls into the vines below, which, like that Harry Potter thing where they're in the fucking
in the
vines or whatever,
maze
like,
thing, yeah.
Oh,
it begins to, they almost like hiss and squirm away from the fallen flame. That area directly underneath it is bare for the first time, as these vines are not so much destroyed, but are scrambling away from the flame.
Nice.
Back up to Jøra.
I think mid-sprint, she's going to pull out the spear. Mm-hmm. While sprinting, right, you're going to do one of those jump javelin tosses at this thing, because it's clearly, like, over top of MacGowan attacking his shield.
Go ahead and give me that roll to throw that javelin.
19 to hit.
Yes, that is going to hit.
11 points of damage.
You hit it with a mighty javelin throw, and it sticks, I think, directly out of this thing's torso. And just, again, every time there is some sort of mundane attack to it, it affects the body, but the tendrils themselves remain undaunted and undeterred.
Flavorful. I'm in mid-run. There's a wrecking ball coming.
Absolutely. Najma.
I think she's going to try to get up. I think I'm just going to try to hit it again.
You're going to shadow step over there and hit it?
Yep.
And I believe that gives you advantage on your first melee attack.
It sure does. Yeah. Thank you. And I'll bonus hit it too, so I'll do 3.
Do you want to step onto the leaves or on the patch that isn't covered in vines?
Not covered in vines. Okay, natural 20.
Ooh.
For the first one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so 25. Okay.
Hell yeah. All those hit.
Oh, whoa. Okay, we'll take it.
Iconic.
So nat 21 was 17.
Filthy.
The second one is 10.
Najma, you deal a devastating blow. Exactly where this green flame did so much damage and the javelin bouncing off didn't seem to do as much, your fists, still covered in the shadow of your Pass Without Trace, are blurring and breaking and punching into this thing, dealing quite a lot of damage. And where you hit, the vines are now also beginning to falter, not just the physical body of this puppet of this man. The vines themselves are crushed somehow by your shadow strikes.
Okay.
And now, all of a sudden, it begins to list to the side, and you see a leg fall out, no longer attached to this puppet. It is just the writhing of green tendrils and vines below. MacGowan.
Seeing that this stranger is here and that Jøra's on her way, MacGowan is going to look at this writhing beast as he's getting out from under it, take one of the charred pieces of the vine, grip it tightly, have his sorceress energy flow through it as he tries to cast slow on it.
Pecan shade.
Wisdom save, actually.
Wisdom. Oh, that is a 20.
20. Ooh, the wisdom is high. Okay, cool. It is not slowed then. Damn. Yeah, that's his turn. He's going to stay where he is. Damn.
Nobody is quite sure what is happening here on the boat because you were all up there.
I assume they're murking that one guy. It's just an assumption. Or they're going to try and cut it out of him like fucking Alien.
Najma.
1
or 2?
2. Ah, fudge.
It turns.
Beans.
As it is sort of rotating in this way, it doesn't seem to have a front like humans have a front anymore. It is this omnidirectional sort of swirling of vines and orange flowers now peeling out from where these vines have been damaged. And it rears back and attacks with both of its arms, claws, MacGowan.
Oh, sorry.
20 to hit.
I will use shield.
Boom. Bounces off of this.
Shield.
Shield.
Double shield.
You do. And it brings it around, and it just can't break through this magical barrier of force. Jøra.
I'm making a dex check.
Yes, to move quickly.
Yep. So I have danger sense. This means I have advantage on dex saving throws against effects that you can see while not blinded defending.
I think that works great.
Okay, just want to double check.
Nice.
Because it's usually associated with traps.
It's not a trap. It is an effect.
13.
You pass. You can move freely.
In the last 5 foot, I'm just going to leap and reckless attack this motherfucker.
Hit it.
17 to hit.
That is going to hit.
Nice.
10 points of damage.
Halved.
So 5 points of damage?
Yes.
Let's go. Another 17 to hit.
Hits.
17.
Halved.
Which comes to 8.
Great.
Slamming down. Again and again and again and again. These vines continue to creep and they continue to hiss and they continue to spray. You cut one in half and both ends wriggle off. You cut those and you cut and you cut and you cut. Your well-made conventional weapons are damaging and breaking and slicing and slicing and slicing, but they continue and continue to move until finally you have cut it into such messes that the plant matter that is there simply cannot constitute itself, and it is gone. And from the boat, you hear the slamming of the whole door.
Oh.
Ooh.